Richard, what qualities does it take to be a good CIO?
It's a really good question. I think for me, some of the most important qualities are communication, being able to engage with a range of stakeholders, the board, the executive committee, senior leaders within the business, and then of course your own team, and being able to translate the needs of the board and the business, etc., into terms that the team can understand, can grapple with, and can rally behind. So for me, that would be one of the most important. I think the second is you have to have your craft skill, you have to have a good understanding of the content to a degree, so you can provide leadership and direction and guidance on some of the challenges we face on a daily basis. So a good understanding of how to translate business strategy to IT strategy, how to manage a good quality service, how to manage a broad and complex supplier base, and how to deliver change on a daily basis. And I think finally you probably have to have a good sense of humour in order to put up with the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune that come your way on a daily basis.
What do you think has been your biggest challenge so far?
I had a career in consulting prior to becoming a CIO, so I guess one of my challenges was converting across, if you like, from having spent 20 plus years working for a professional services organisation to then becoming a CIO and seeing it from the other side of the fence. So that's been a tremendous learning experience and learning curve at times. I think at a content level in the role we've had in the last couple of years, the biggest challenge is always bringing the people with you. I can always write loads of strategy papers and decks to explain what we will do, but nothing much happens unless you have the people aligned and rallied behind you. So always the toughest challenges are determining what team you need, creating the right operating model and getting the right people in the right roles. And that's true, I think, of many walks in life, but particularly as a CIO.
What do you consider to be your biggest achievement?
I think if you take it in a work context, and certainly if I look back at my role as CIO at LV in the last couple of years, it's enabling the business to grow. As a business, we have more than doubled in size in the last 2 to 3 years. We've put on a tremendous amount of both top-line growth and also people to support that against a backdrop of being a relatively small company a few years ago. So I often describe us as a 6,000 person startup. So during that period, we've had to overhaul a vast array of the technology and the infrastructure that underpins our business while continuing to deliver good day-to-day service. So being able to achieve that, being able to deliver that day-to-day service and being able to take our people with us on that journey, to me has been a great achievement.
And what's your next big goal, both personally and professionally?
I think professionally it would be to really think through the implications of some of the emerging technology and on our business. I think there's some really interesting challenges out there, and many of the challenges facing me as a CIO and I guess many of my colleagues are that the things that will impact us most and change our business model most are now beyond the boundaries of our enterprise. So the technologies that could really change us are things I don't control. In my instance, in insurance, the emergence of much smarter cars, much smarter medicine could significantly change our business model propositions. Thinking that through and engaging the board in that conversation, I think is quite an interesting professional challenge. And in a way it's also the personal one as well, because it's, how do you change gear a little bit from the focus on running a well-managed and effective team to deliver kind of clear business results to one that is more leading at the forefront of innovation and kind of shaping the business of the future. So for me that is a combined personal and professional challenge.
What's the most useful piece of careers advice you've ever received?
The one I always quote is a very simple one, which is do good things and good things will happen to you. Very simply, I worked with a colleague many years ago and he had a focus of always do the right thing, and do it well, and then stuff will flow from that, and by and large I think he's been proven right.
What careers advice would you pass on to others?
Advice I've given many people over the years is be happy with what you're good at, and then you'll be really good at it. I've worked with many people over the years who've often, they've worked their way through a number of career options within and around the IT industry, and I've seen them grow frustrated in their current role because they have a desire to do something else, but actually they're really good at what they do. They're a great program manager, they're a great developer, they're a great architect, and I think we need to encourage them to be really good at those things and reward them appropriately, because then they'll be even better. It's when people try and stretch themselves to do things they think they ought to be able to do that they're not suited to, that they struggle with. So my advice is kind of be authentic to yourself, and you'll be much happier for it.